selling a story versus finding justice. Now, in this course, we witnessed many different social issues in this world that we live in. With the films we watched, these social issues came to a head in a trial of some kind. Whether it was a legitimate court case, a case in the presence of gods, or a situation that was taken into the hands of our protagonists, these characters were looking for something. I believe that was justice. Now, finding justice, I don't think that was the problem. I think the problem with the justices that they were trying to find was morals. In my opinion, the morals were a problem with everything. Selling a story and finding justice. It's morals get in the way of this. Some questions I want to pose and some talking points I want to talk about are, is selling a story effective and ethical in a trial? Is finding your own justice, taking matters into your own hands, is that the right thing to do? Now, with selling a story, on whether or not it's effective and ethical in a trial setting, as a lawyer defending somebody for a crime that they've been accused of, it's important to have something prepared, whether they did that or not. That's what lawyers get paid to do. That's their job. That's why people feel the way they do about them, good or bad. In the movie Chicago, Billy Flynn, played by Richard Gere, was really good at selling a story to the jury. I mean, the film goes as far as to making a musical number where he's showcased as this master of puppets for his clients. Now, while this is effective in getting his client's story across, I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's a story. Does it make it ethical? In my opinion, no. You know, Billy Flynn, great lawyer. He defended many people who were guilty, and he got them off. And that was his living. That's what he got paid for, as I've already discussed. But other than the punishment of having a trial for these women would get off scot-free. These women would also become celebrities in their own right, and they would not have to stay in prison. Some of these women murdered their boyfriends and husbands in horrific ways. And not for nothing, what I know, general rule of life that I'm aware of, is if you murder somebody, you go away for a long time. So the fact that they're getting off scot-free, it must have been a really good story they're selling. So yes, while it is very effective, I think it has extremely low ethical value, in my opinion. Now, can finding justice by taking matters into your own hands be the right thing to do? Well, in Death and the Maiden, Sigourney Weaver's character Paulina did just that. A man entered her house. This is a man she hasn't seen in years. This is a man that has done terrible things to her, unspeakable things. She puts this man through many mental challenges, including, I'd go as far as to say, hostage-like situations to try to get him to confess. Some people could consider the things that she did to be cruel, but given the context of what happened, I certainly don't blame her. I certainly don't blame her for some of the things that she did to him. And by the end of the night, as the sun's coming up, creeping into the morning, she has this man at a cliff. Her husband is pleading with her, don't go through with this. This is not what you want to do for your life. The man finally confesses. And she cuts him loose and walks away. Not for nothing, I probably would have pushed him off the cliff. Well, while I have discussed this and I've made this to where our protagonist comes off as very heroic, she had to do a lot of awful things to get that confession. Is finding justice by your own hands, is that the right thing to do? I believe it can be. But having to do these unspeakable things to get there, to get that justice, to get that confession, that could be a difficult decision. And I think it would put a lot of people in a position to where they would have to make those decisions that they would have to live with for the rest of their lives. Now, both of these aspects, when they're presented in trials, whether that's a legitimate trial or a trial of their own, they have their pros and cons about them. Selling a story, you can either be the hero to your client, get them an audience that validates their feelings towards this case and why they need justice, or you could be a phony. You could sell garbage to these people, and you can do all this when you really know the truth behind your lies. Now, taking justice into your own hands. It could be either exactly what you need in your life so that you can move on with your life, or it could be something where you make decisions that will haunt you for the rest of your life. I think it's important to have morals. I think it's important to have justice. I also think that these two things do not always go hand in hand. I truly believe, and in closing, that the bridge between morals and justice is truth. Now, someone can either choose to walk on that bridge or they can burn it. Thank you.